Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show, episode 404. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Connor Farley. What's up, Connor?
Shit.
What's up, David?
Hey!
What's up, Mike D?
What's up?
All right.
Oh, God. Oh, my ears.
Yeah, no, that's a blast from the past. Okay, so I don't know what's happening, but Bill Murray is now signed to be in Ghostbusters, which I guess did freeze over. I mean, as it is bad enough, we had the worst movie in history of superheroes, Fantastic Four. It was labeled and failed. But now, another shocking thing is Ghostbusters has Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd. What's even more bizarre is that in this universe, their characters don't exist, and they're playing different characters. And in this universe, there's never been a ghost, period. And the women formed the Ghostbusters to deal with the problem. So I think Dan Aykroyd plays a cabbie from New York City, which is filmed in Boston. That's interesting, when the original Ghostbusters were filmed in New York City. So what do you think about that, Mike D? I mean,
I really don't give it any thought. I mean, I think the movie's going to suck, so I don't even really care about it, really.
I disagree. I don't think it's gonna bomb because I remember we were talking about that for the people.
No, I said I thought it was going to suck. I didn't say it was going to bomb. I just think it's going to suck.
I think it's going to be middle of the road. I think there are going to be those people that are going to want to see a new take on the Ghostbusters, which, you know, they'll definitely get their money's worth for it, probably. But I don't, as far as films go, I'm not expecting something huge out of this movie. I think they'll try to play it safe after this, because that's the same thing with Fantastic Four. They changed a lot of the stuff with the cast and the characters, but as far as the story goes, they played it safe with what they were doing, almost as if they were ashamed of what they're trying to do. If they try to play it safe with Ghostbusters and not try to bring something new to the table that we haven't already seen, it's not going to do well.
I don't think it's going to play safe at all. In fact, I think they're pretty ballsy enough to change everything about Ghostbusters, from the proton packs to the uniforms to, you know, everything. And I actually think, believe it or not, with Melissa McCarthy in it, which I'm a huge fan of hers, as well as Sharon is, I think that the Ghostbuster franchise is going to be a success. Not only that, but just seeing Bill Murray accepting to be in it means that he approves of the script, because he wouldn't even do a cameo, let alone anything. So I do feel, I mean, he was in other movies with Melissa McCarthy. He was in St. Vincent, and he is a fan of her, as well as some of the other women on there. So I do feel that, you know, as much as I wanted to see original Ghostbusters, now that Harold Ramis has passed away, it wouldn't be the same anyway, even if they got Bill Murray and everybody. So I do want to see this movie. I think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be a failure in any way. I don't think it's going to bomb in any way, and I don't think it's going to be a disappointment in any way. Of course, I don't think it's going to be better than the original, but I think it's going to be what this generation is suitable for, I guess.
Well,
what do you have to say, Connor?
Nah, I don't really care about it. It's a remake. It'll probably fucking suck.
I think the thing is that what I've noticed is that a lot of films that have been like continuations of previous franchises. I know this is a reboot, but take a look at some of the ones we've seen. We've seen Jurassic World, which was hugely successful. We have,
but that technically wasn't a reboot because it was kind of a sequel.
I'm saying continuations of franchises that we haven't seen for around 20 years. Films that add on to those franchises, and usually they're successful. I mean, we saw Jurassic World. Terminator Genesis did okay at the box office. So if this new trend keeps going, it could do well. Now, that's not to say all reboots are going to be fantastic, as evidenced by Fantastic Four, and probably the next Nightmare on Elm Street. But, I mean, as far as franchises that have been away for so long, I mean, hell, we're getting a new Star Wars. We're getting a new Star Wars, and already that's probably going to break records even on opening weekend.
But the only difference is that with all these movies we're talking about, that Ghostbusters is a complete reboot, meaning that the other ones never happened or it's in another universe. with all these other movies, there's a connection to the past. Like Terminator Genesis is a sequel to the other Terminators. Jurassic World is a sequel to the other Jurassic Parks, and Star Wars is a sequel to Return of the Jedi. So, like, they're all connected to it except for Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is a flat reboot, which means that none of that stuff ever happened, or it did happen, but in an alternate universe, as they keep talking about. So that's what's difference between Ghostbusters and all these other films we're talking about. Let me get Steampunk's take on the Ghostbuster story, and then we're going to go right to Fantastic Four. So go ahead, Steampunk.
Is this the Anything Show? What show is this?
The Everything Show.
The Everything Show. Oh, my apologies. I have no interest in the reboot of Ghostbusters. I just, in lukewarm at best. I'm actually more interested in the new Fantastic Four movie just because it has Michael B. Jordan in it with Michael A. Jordan, the basketball player.
No, he is not. He is not Michael Jordan's father. I mean, father's. I showed you on the thing.
He is. He is. He's listed. He's listed on Google as the son of Michael A. Jordan.
He isn't. You are being listen. Just don't listen. Just
so
listen.
Google is wrong, and you're right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I shared it with you.
It's like the doctor lied, Google lies.
Listen, there are many
he's listed as Michael B. Jordan. Anyway, we're getting off on a tangent that I did not intend.
No, but I could prove it right now again.
Actually, his father was called James R. Jordan.
Well, I mean, according to Google profiles, his name is Michael B. Jordan, and his father was Michael A. Jordan.
Okay, you know what? He's not the basketball player, but I'm going to show it to you right now.
I'm not saying he was. He's an actor.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
He's the one in Fantastic Four, isn't he?
He's the one in Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan. According to Google profiles, his parent was Michael A. Jordan, which is the famous baseball player, basketball player.
It's not. No, it is. And first of all, Michael Jordan was not a He
was a famous baseball player.
Let me. Okay. I've got the information.
You're incorrect again. Wow.
Father.
He was a baseball player. He played professional baseball for a time.
Okay, go ahead, Connor, please.
Michael B. Jordan's father is called Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not the basketball player.
I didn't understand. Oh, so I have to put this away? There's no place? Oh. Well, the music is really loud. That's the reason why I went outside.
God, man, Chris came back. Great. Maybe we can go do a podcast with that possum now.
Something's wrong. You must put the headphones on because you're too damn loud.
Who's giving him crap now?
He can't even go out. He can't even go outside.
A copyright issue. All right, I appreciate it.
What happened?
So you can turn the music. He's taking away all the tables because they're pre-closing, and so I'm going to have no place to sit out here outside.
All right, so just go back in. We'll talk about this.
I have to go back in. He said that he could turn the music down for me because I was saying I was a guest on a podcast, and the music could go to
They're going to turn down the music just for you.
Shit.
That's what he says. I don't know. I was trying to compliment him.
Give this man an autograph on a napkin and say, you need a merchandise. You contact 555-5555.
I'm about the. I think there's about 400,000 people more famous than me, according to IMDb.
Yeah, probably.
Actually, tell the guy inside, Chris, that you know Monk of Fraud, and you'll hook him up with his autograph.
Oh my!
I have no idea who that is. Anyway, I got to reconfigure. God, this is annoying.
Yeah, I hear that there's help wanted ads in the Craigslist for a new leader for some type of podcast show. I don't know, but okay. Craigslist
sounds scammy. Anyway,
I don't know if anyone's that big a loser that would accept that position of that job because no one could top the last two losers they've had.
Well, actually, there is someone that's kind of an up-and-coming 19-year-old.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know, we don't discriminate against anybody. So if anybody was kicked out and want to talk about it on this show,
Yeah.
give me a ring.
We're
But other than that,
yeah, we're here for the mentally retarded lot of you. So.
no. We're not bashing anybody. But
Don't insult the retards, Connor.
Sorry.
I said don't insult the retards. They can't help it.
Yeah.
That other group, they choose to be loser retards. That's the difference.
Yeah.
All right, should we move on to the next article?
Yes, David. Yes.
I'm having more fun talking about that topic. It's
All right.
gotta be-
Wait, did we have a birth of a new group?
than the
All of a sudden-
Fantastic Four movie.
Oh, another faction. You know how like Davros had like the Daleks?
Well, yeah, we have.
Are they split in two now? I don't know. All right, let's go back to David. Yeah, David, I'm sorry.
Well, Fox just told the biggest lie I've ever heard in the movie business.
Damn.
Well, we have the puppet faction, don't we,
They
sir?
said, quote, while we are disappointed, we remain committed to these characters, and we have a lot to look forward to in our Marvel universe.
Yeah, that was an insulting. First of all, that was insulting as it is.
Oh,
Let me elaborate on that comment. Okay, for those of you who not sure what they're talking about, and I'm going to coin this phrase. All right, and this is going to be the first time it's done in history. It looks like Fox is going to create the first ever Ego sequel. And when I say Ego sequel, that means that they don't like it, that they feel that the movie failed. They blame it on Josh Trank when they're both at fault. They can't have it that they have a failure, that they messed up. They will not give the rights back to Disney and Marvel to do a Fantastic Four movie as part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Okay? So what they're actually going to do, which is unheard of in history, is they may throw hundreds of millions of dollars towards a sequel to a movie that freaking bombed, because if they do not do another Fantastic Four sequel or movie, they will lose the right, as per the contract, to the rights of Fantastic Four, King the Conqueror, Namor the Submariner, Silver Surfer, Galactus, all the people that are tied to Fantastic Four will go back home to Marvel Disney. So that's why they released this movie, because if they would have been late releasing this movie, they would have lost the rights to those characters. If they continually make movies with the Fantastic Four with a certain amount of years guideline, they will not have to give the rights back to Marvel until 2024.
well,
Okay.
can I just say something about this before you go off on a rant? I want to get my opinion on this. Is that this film was obviously rushed out of the gate. This film obviously had no logic put into it at all. But my thing is with this is that I honestly think the rights will go back to Marvel, because if Fox wants that X-Men TV series, Disney is now at a point, Disney and Marvel Studios is at a point right now where Fox is pretty desperate to get their hands on an X-Men TV series. Now, Joe was originally saying before that Marvel would push for Avengers versus X-Men with Hugh Jackman playing as Logan.
Absolutely.
For that. That's not going to happen. I honestly feel that won't happen because a lot of people aren't going to... Well, people will want it. That's not true. People will want the Avengers versus X-Men. Fox isn't going to want that. That, I think, would be too much over the line. So I do think what would happen is that Marvel will get the rights to the Fantastic Four, but they will not use the team for a certain number of years.
Never happened.
Hold on.
Won't happen, dude. They're not going to spend all that money and not use it.
No, they are going to use it, just not in the way that we're thinking. They're not going to throw the team a movie like right now, especially after this, all the negativity surrounding this version of the Fantastic Four. What they're probably going to do is that we're going to see, probably, if they get the rights to that, we might see an event like Secret Invasion with the Skrulls, and use an event like that to bring in the Fantastic Four. Already, no origin needed. They can do it like Spider-Man, because Marvel said they're done with origins, and we can jump into the Fantastic Four just like that. but that will be in a couple of years where all the negativity from this film has died out.
First of all, Fantastic Four is Marvel's first family, okay? That means that if they get the rights to it, they are absolutely doing a movie immediately because it's out of respect for putting Marvel Comics on the map. It was their first. Okay, they are going to do that. They are going to.
Marvel doesn't really exist as a company anymore. It's Disney.
They're not.
Marvel does exist as a company. No, that's
not.
not.
The parent corporation is Disney. Disney calls the shots on everything.
Disney does not call the shots on Marvel Comics. Marvel Comics are free to do whatever the hell they want, as they have done lately. So Disney does not interfere.
Disney does not interfere in any way, shape.
That owns it. No, it doesn't.
Marvel. It does own Marvel.
Disney does not. No. First of all, you know nothing. No. Disney does not say anything to do with the comics aspect.
Okay, hold on. Chris?
Yes.
Chris, Joe is right on the one hand. Disney is letting Marvel Studios and Marvel Comics pretty much do what they want in terms of how they're going to progress their cinematic universe and how the comics universe is going. Disney really has no hand in how the comics go. That Joe is right on. But I will say I don't think... to what you said, Joe, I don't think they're going to rush out a Fantastic Four.
I didn't say rush out, but
not rush out. No, they're not going to do it immediately because again, like I'm saying, the negativity that is associated with the Fantastic Four at this point, I think it would be better if Marvel just waited. Wait for a couple of years and then bring the Fantastic Four in. No, I'm not.
See how fast that they threw Spider-Man to Civil War? That's how fast they'll throw them into the Infinity War.
Well, the thing about, according to Clever Movies, because of this new Fantastic Four movie that just came out, even if they don't make another Fantastic Four movie, Fox will still have the license for the movie rights until 2024.
No, well, no. Like I just stated, if they don't, they have to make a movie within a certain amount of years, and if they keep making movies, sequels, whatever, they will hold on to it till 2024.
Well,
if they do not release a movie by 2017, they will lose the rights.
Listen, according to Clever Movies, because Clever Movies did a thing about interesting facts about Fantastic Four. They were about to lose the rights in 2016.
I just said that. I just said that before.
But they have the rights now until 2024.
No, they don't.
Okay.
No, they don't. Again, it's a misquote and it's a misthing. They have. Listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
They had put out a crappy movie back in the day, Roger Corman, right? They never even released the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, just to hold on to the rights.
Yeah.
They did the regular Fantastic Four. They did the Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, and then they had a time limit between that movie and this movie to get this one out. And they just put it. They put it out so they wouldn't lose the rights. Period.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was about to expire in 2016.
And they still have to make a commitment to put another movie out.
Well, they're doing Fantastic Four 2. They've already announced it.
Well, no, it doesn't matter. They already announced it. They just. I don't know what they're going to do. They probably will. They probably will put it out.
Supposedly, Bryan Singer is going to be doing Fantastic Four 2, which
Joe,
might make it good.
Didn't you say, Joe, on a previous cast that they canceled that and the X-Men crossover to do Deadpool 2?
Well, but then they made an announcement today that they are committed to the franchise. So
I think right now, what that is, I think that's damage control, because unless they flat out come out and say Fantastic Four 2 is happening or Fantastic Four and X-Men is happening, right now for all
Fantastic Four and X-Men are never happening.
Well, no,
the X-Men camp flat out said, regardless of 20th Century said, the X-Men camp from 20th Century said it is never going to happen right now.
I'm just saying, unless we hear a concrete statement that a spin-off or a sequel is coming, for all intents and purposes, 20th Century Fox Fantastic Four franchise is dead.
Okay.
That is something we can all agree on, that this bomb, this crap.
But as I just said, to hold on to the rights, they will put out the sequel for spite because they can't admit they're wrong.
I don't think they're going to, because the fans pretty much have spoken across the board. They're saying if Fox's name is tied to this team, they will not see this movie. They will not see any movie featuring this team.
They did the 1993 movie just to hold on to the rights, and there's only a release in bootlegs for that. Where
I still think.
I have it.
I still think that.
I've always been curious, but go ahead.
I still think that I'm hoping that Marvel's going to capitalize on this failure and use this as leverage to try to squeeze something out of Fox, maybe get the rights back, or maybe who knows, we can have the unicorn moment where what Joe said is true, and have an Avengers versus X-Men. Now that would be great, and I would love that, but I am trying to be as realistic as possible, and I don't think that's going to happen. Fantastic Four rights going back to Marvel is probably the most likely. But if Fox is that desperate for the X-Men TV series, and they probably will be after this, so they can actually get some money back, I think they'll do it. I think they'll give the Fantastic Four rights back.
They're not giving it back, but they will get an Avengers vs. X-Men.
Well, the Marvel Studios tried to negotiate in the past, they tried to give Fox Daredevil in exchange for Fantastic Four, but they weren't going to have it.
I bet they wish they had it now.
All right.
I guess they would.
What else?
The Netflix series has done well. A lot of people love the Netflix series. It's been critically acclaimed. Yeah.
Well, actually, that's a great segue because we just got our first picture of John Bernthal on the set as the Punisher. I'm going to screen share this so you guys can take a look at this. I'm going to say right now, why am I not surprised that he is not wearing the skull? Why is he not wearing the skull, Marvel? I thought we had this talk before. We need that. He needs to have that shirt with the skull on it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe this is just one of those scenes that he isn't wearing it, but I think when you're bringing in the Punisher, it's one of those, like everyone, like especially, what was it, Adolph Lundgren, when he did the Punisher, what was it, 1989? He never wore the skull, and a lot of comic fans were pissed about that. That's what everyone loved the Thomas Jane movie, because Thomas Jane actually had the skull on the bulletproof vest, and he actually looked like the Punisher. But I think this, that's what would differentiate the Punisher from any normal thug vigilante who likes to use guns. It's that skull. It's that iconography of that skull. So. And, some people are saying that, oh, well, Daredevil didn't get the red suit until the end of the series. I really want to see, if they're really doing Punisher teaming up with, or fighting Daredevil, then they need to have him wear that skull. He needs to have it.
He didn't become the Punisher yet. That's probably what it is. He'll probably adopt the identity in the series, probably.
Though, from the looks of these pictures, I'm actually very happy of John Bernthal actually playing the Punisher. Here's the thing that I think needs to happen. It's all well and good to be a violent, criminal-killing psychopath like Frank Castle is. But I think the one thing that Punisher Warzone, I think, did was that he's not a man that's just consumed by violence. He has a reason for doing what he does. And we need to see that human side of him, that he has his own self-righteous reason for doing this is because of what happened to him and his family. Right. It may not be the right way, but it may not be the morally right way to go about doing this, but it's what he feels is the right way. We need to see some of that conflict, that internal conflict with Frank Castle about why he's doing what he does.
I don't feel like they've ever done a good Punisher movie. I used to read the Punisher comics. I don't read them anymore, but I used to read them, and I was a fan of the comics. And I just always felt like every Punisher movie that's ever come out has always had something missing from the character. That's just my.
I will agree with you. I felt the Thomas Jane and the Ray Stevenson movie both have parts that were really, really good. I think that Thomas Jane was pretty much a badass as the Punisher, and then you have the emotional weight that Ray Stevenson portrayed during Punisher Warzone, probably one of the only good things about that version. Now, if you combine those two aspects together, you probably would have had a halfway decent Punisher movie. But unfortunately, we lost that. So hopefully that if it says it's the same team that did Daredevil and they did such a great job with him, I trust them to do the Punisher right.
All right, I got some news now. This is concerning the Ant-Man movie. It looks like Ant-Man currently stands at $326 million. And if you remember Captain America's worldwide gross, it was at 370 million. So Ant-Man is still growing, and it's still making money.
But
Can I comment something about the gross figures for Terminator Genesis? If you calculate the they had the international box office. With the international box office number, Terminator Genesis made 387 million. That's worldwide total. And so it actually did pretty well. It did better internationally than it did.
Actually, that's not correct. Worldwide, Terminator Genesis made 322 million.
322 million. Okay.
So
well, it did a lot better internationally.
It only made 88 million here and 234 million worldwide. Now, of course, when you're concerning worldwide figures, meaning not here, they don't get that full percentage of that money.
Well, they don't get the full percentage of even money domestically because they still
get a bigger percentage domestically than they do foreign.
Yeah, but I'm still trying to say that it did make some money.
It
definitely wasn't the worst Terminator movie.
Yeah.
And they did announce that they were going to do a sequel to it.
Well, it is not right now. There is no. It's put on hold. The plans were for the next one to come out in 2017, and then the third one to come out in 2018. But the plans are on hold right now.
Yeah.
Isn't 2017 when Justice League's coming out? Because that would probably explain why they're probably pulling away out of that.
Well, they're not pulling away because of Justice League. They were pulling away because of box office numbers. Justice League had nothing to do with them pulling out.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying 322 million is nothing to sweat at. I mean,
but if they spend 155 million to make it,
well, it doubled its money.
It didn't really.
Well,
because as you said, they didn't make
advertising costs. Yeah, it didn't quite double its money. No.
Yeah, well,
right. Let's just hope and pray that they do make another one.
Yeah.
If you look at Terminator 2: Judgment Day, the budget was 102 million, but it made 519 million worldwide. So that was a big profit. Okay. Same thing with the Terminator. Terminator had a budget of 6.4 million, did 78 million. That's a big profit.
Well, I mean, for Arnold Schwarzenegger's sake, I hope they do, because he needs to pay those alimony and child support checks.
And the Terminator 3 had a budget of 200 million and made 433 million. So, again, even Salvation had a budget of 200 million and made 371. So,
okay. Well, I was just surprised that it did better internationally than it did domestically.
That seems the trend lately. That's what happens. All right, we got one more article. You want to go with that, David?
Yeah, let's take a look. All right, Phil Lord and Chris Miller probably just producing 23 Jump Street. 23 Jump Street may be in need of a director because Phil Lord and Chris Miller might just not have the time to take on the job. The pair directed the previous two films in the series, starring Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill, but may have to scale back their roles to just producing. Speaking to /Film at the Television Critics Association press tour, Miller said, quote, "We are hard at work on 23 Jump Street, which I think we will probably just produce from a time standpoint. We've been working really hard. We've got a really good first draft of a script in, and we're really excited about it. Roger Rothman is writing the script for the film after he worked on 22 Jump Street with both Tatum and Hill expected to return. A potential Jump Street / Men in Black crossover film is also being looked at currently, which Lord and Miller describe as crazy. News of that possibly emerged during the Sony Pictures hacking and subsequent weeks. I'm actually more interested in this Jump Street and Men in Black crossover than I am in 23 Jump Street. Because here's what I want. Look, if you're doing 21 Jump Street, and a Men in Black crossover, I want this to be balls to the walls, crazy, and as over the top as possible. Because if you're taking an insane premise like that, take it all the way. Seriously, I want to see some of the craziest stuff I have ever seen in a movie.
That's going to be terrible.
I
See.
I know, but I mean, when you have a silly premise like that, don't take it seriously. That's what I feel.
I agree. They could be really funny if they really cheese it up.
Oh, do it, definitely. Because, look, it may not be a big blockbuster, but it will more than make up for it in entertainment value.
Yeah, like Jason X. That's one of my favorite horror films of all time. Jason
X. God.
I have a feeling that if it was a crossover between Men in Black, it would do better than it ordinarily would do as Drum Street, believe it or not. So.
The only problem.
I mean, me and Daniel were talking about, man, we're still waiting for a sequel to Jason X.
Yeah,
we want to see what happens on Earth 2.
Don't hold your breath, basically.
I know. I'm just being silly. I'm being smart ass, but I'm being silly.
Actually, my thing was they actually had a continuation of Jason X where he faced the original Jason.
In the comics?
Yeah, they did a comic, Jason versus Jason X, and it was kind of a tie.
I would just tend to disagree. I think the original Jason would kick his butt, but.
Well, the new Jason's more powerful, in my opinion. I would disagree. I think the new Jason would kick the old Jason's butt because he's got cybernetics.
You just probably planted the idea in these people's heads, and now we'll have Jason X too. There you go.
Well.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that the only thing standing in the way of a Men in Black and Jump Street crossover being awesome is the fact that you have Will Smith working with DC Comics right now. We don't know how many pictures Will Smith has signed on to as Deadshot, so we don't know if he's going to
be... not much.
From what I understand, Will Smith is in the process of trying to recover his career because he did a couple of movies that bombed badly.
Yeah, this is, I think, that one movie that Suicide Squad is the one movie he can't afford to have bombed.
Suicide Squad, I must say, I was blown away by the trailer. It looks really good. I'm actually excited to see that. Premise. What?
The premise of the Suicide Squad is very interesting, though I think it's going to be very confusing for a lot of people because the Suicide Squad isn't that much of a well-known team outside of, they haven't had a lot of exposure outside of, mentions in the Arkham video game and appearances on the Arrow TV show, which
true, but the characters of Suicide Squad are well known, like the Joker and Harley Quinn. So, I mean, that's the two that I know the most. And so I've always wanted to see Harley Quinn in a movie. And I was like, wow, this is kind of like the way I envisioned Harley Quinn when I saw the trailer, and it looked really good.
I will say I'm not a fan of her costume.
Okay, fair enough. I liked it. I thought it was hot.
Look, she looks like, I'm gonna be blunt here. She looks like a Hot Topic mannequin just suddenly gained life and just ran out of the store with a baseball bat. That is literally what she looks like.
To each his own. I'm just saying I liked it. I liked the trailer. I have a feeling I'm gonna like the movie. It looks dark and edgy the way I like it.
Hold on. The costume I think she should have. This, hold on, let me see. Let me screen share it. Is this one? This one was from Arkham City. This one right here.
Oh, okay.
This costume I feel is practical. Like it feels practical, but it also is a nice callback to her original, the original color of the Jester costume.
Well, there are some fans. I had a discussion with a girl at, what convention was that? It was the Anime Expo this year, who hated the new version of Harley Quinn in the New 52. She was like going on, we had like a little mini discussion about it. She was talking about how she hated the new Harley Quinn, it's too sexed up. She likes the classic Harley Quinn and likes cosplaying as only the classic Harley Quinn, doesn't like the New 52. So there's some fans that don't like the way she's portrayed in the new comics.
Well, no one likes the New 52.
Okay, fair enough. I haven't read the New 52, so I don't have a...
No,
On that note, go ahead, David.
It's very short what I'm saying. The only thing that's good about the New 52, I can name you two things that I loved about the New 52. One, the Court of Owls. Seriously, read Scott Snyder's first 2 volumes of Batman. They are fantastic with the new Court of Owls. They're a great new villain. And 2 was in the Flash comics. They gave the Rogues metahuman powers, which that was really interesting to do, and add a new dynamic to the Rogues that we didn't get to really see that much. Those are the only 2 things that I loved about the New 52. Everything else pretty much stunk.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
I'll have to check it out sometime.
All right, guys, that's it for the Everything Show. Thank you very much.
I have a bit of
Amber
news.
Street on. I didn't get to plug it. Amber Street.
Hold on, what, David?
Connor's got news.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Sam Riley, who was in Maleficent and I believe Brighton Rock, is in talks to star in SSGB, the Len Deaton adaptation that James Bond scribes Neil Purvis and Robert Wade are writing. It's I think it's going to be a BBC film that's produced by Patrick Schwarzer, who actually did Doctor Who previously, and it's about it's set in the UK, which is conquered by Germany during World War II, so it's a bit of a twist on actual history, and the title refers to the branch of the Nazi SS that controls Britain. Detective Superintendent Douglas Archer, a British homicide detective assigned to Scotland Yard, is called to investigate a murder of a well-dressed man. This surprise the case draws attention to the highest levels of the German government. Archer soon finds himself in the middle of a struggle between powerful forces. Filming is set to begin in the fall. So I thought that was
sounds awesome. that
it actually does, and I haven't really watched many films that they've written together outside of James Bond.
This is alternate
Well,
history.
didn't they do another? Wasn't there a film that came out a few years ago that was that premise that Germany conquered England and invaded England, like guerrilla partisan warfare or something?
I don't know.
There was a movie with that same premise that came out a few years ago. I just can't remember the name. It was like an independent, low-budget film.
Yeah.
Wait, this is Connor. This is alternate history.
Yeah, because it's Germany taking over England.
Oh yeah.
Which never happens. So, yeah. I thought I'd share that because it's rather interesting. So.
What's the name of this new film?
SSGB.
SSGB.
Yeah, referring to the SS, the German police force for Hitler, and GB being the Great Britain initials. Or anagram, whatever.
Oh, okay. SS Great Britain. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys, we're going to have to go. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye for now.